Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Baltimore Ravens. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And all the way down to the 36-yard line.
The tackle made at the a 41-yard gain.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 16. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. On 2nd down now. Swift. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go there.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Now for the point after. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start on the ground. This is Stewart on first. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They give to Stewart out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up the score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
61, Matchbox Light. Ready?
2nd and 6. And connecting here with DJ Shark. He takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A shotgun give to Fournette. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. He'll look to throw. And oh, look at that. A diving catch.
Maximum effort, partner. Minimal gain.
Yeah, minimal gain. Looked good, though. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now one in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move. But the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week? Without having some go-to moves with counters.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack.
Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just...
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter as they'll start with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 47 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Give them maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. Now Leonard Fournette. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Leonard Fournette with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Throwing is Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start the drive with a run by Stewart. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
That's taken in by Stewart and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he'll find Hall. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. From the gun, Jackson. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Jackson will keep it, and he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Tucker with the extra point, and that trims the lead down to 9.
Makes the score Jaguars 16, Ravens 7. Justin Tucker to kick off football.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On the draw, this is Fournette. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
What we got? Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6. Watch the back.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. He completes it to Stewart. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 34. A very solid gain of 27.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Let's go, D. Check.
Now Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 17-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Switch it. 80 weapon. Deep grip.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. They'll toss it to Fournette. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Ready?
He'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll try and run forward with Fournette, and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Leonard Fournette taking it in, and the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on...
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now it's Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's... And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 22. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle. They'll run it again with Fournette. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Swift. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Baltimore. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll run with Fournette. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, you know, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Delayed handoff. This is Stewart. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th. Jackson, he's going to loft one. And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. in for the score. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Wow, talk about a big fourth down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it, having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. T.J. Green with a pick.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open?
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 40, the 30, 10, and they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And an alley to run. And he's got this down to the 35. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit.
And all the way in for touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 35 yards. And the Ravens get a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a two-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a two-score game, they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all three timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. A good gain there on first down. That run will get them 7 up to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. Again, it's Fournette. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Fournette. And some room to roam now. Fighting through it. He's got space. There he goes right side. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Leonard Fournette, 65 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Hey, I'm coming.
From the shotgun, it's Stewart. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Jaguars, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.